Happy New Year's! Hey, I finally got a new phone, so I have plenty of storage now, so hopefully I'll be able to make more videos, at least longer videos. I kind of dropped off the face of the earth a little bit there before Christmas, but I'm back and I'm ready to do some more Nerd Rants videos. Today it is high time that I do a rant review for The Last Airbender because it's so bad. It's so bad, guys. I personally have never met anyone who likes that, so that's good. But honestly, if someone I met said that they liked the movie, I might have to hurt them. Seriously, guys, it is not just bad, it is disrespectful. The acting sucked. Child actors are kind of like good child actors are hard to find, I know, but it's not impossible. And every actor in that movie sucked. Every single one of them. None of them were good. Then, of course, they mispronounced like half the main characters' names. There were two of the main characters, I think, that they pronounced the names right. And that was Zuko. That's fairly reasonable. Yeah, you can pronounce that right. Sure, that one's pretty straightforward. Katara. They got Katara right. Which again, how it's spelled, I guess it's pretty straightforward, but still, it's not like a normal name. And then we have Aang. It's spelled A-A-N-G. How would you pronounce that besides Aang? But no, M. Night Shyamalan decided that it should be pronounced Ong, like O-N-G. Where do you get that? Where do you get the idea that it should ever be pronounced like that? And then, I don't remember if they called Sokka, I think they called him Sokka. It wasn't pronounced right. I know it wasn't, but I don't remember if it was Sokka or not, because I know when they're in the North Pole, the arrogant little jerk face that's betrothed to Yue says Sokka, but I don't remember if that's how they pronounce it in Last Airbender or not. Either way, they mispronounce it and it makes me want to punch something. Then, of course, they had to go and ruin Iroh's entire character. It didn't look like Iroh. It didn't sound like Iroh. They pronounced his name Iroh. Iroh was not Iroh, and it sucked, and I hated it. Zuko's scar was barely visible. Like, it didn't even look like a scar. It looked like he had a weird tan line or something. It didn't look like he had a scar, and it angered me so much. And they took away the ponytail look, which he got burned. Why is there hair there? I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. None of the characters looked like their characters. Aang didn't act like Aang. He was very bland. They all were. The dialogue was weak. The bending, guys. The frickin' bending. No. The scene in the the prison for the Earthbenders in the village. I'm not even don't get me started on why that prison doesn't work. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it takes a dozen guys doing an entire like minute-long martial arts routine to move a boulder that is like that big. That big. The intro, yeah, just the intro to the Last Airbender series. One guy moves a rock almost twice that size. I can't. Then Shyamalan makes the rule that firebenders need a source in order to bend. So there needs to be this little fire pit by them with actual flames. There needs to be some sort of fire in their vicinity in order for them to bend, which has never been a thing. Can they use a source to bend? Yes, but they have never needed one. And then he goes and breaks that rule on multiple occasions. So he doesn't even stick to this stupid rule that he created. The bending was so bad. It's so bad. As I said in my Shang-Chi review, Shang-Chi had better airbending than the Last Airbender movie. 100% it did. So bad. Now let's talk about the logic of that Earthbender prison. Are you kidding me? In the show, it made perfect sense. It was awesome. Metal bending wasn't even a thing yet because Toph wasn't in the show yet. So they're keeping them in this giant metal, it looks like an oil rig, off in the middle, away of the ocean, away from the coast. It's like not even in sight. It makes sense. They can't bend, so they can't escape. And then they're forced to work, and them being hopeless and not wanting to escape and not wanting to rile up all the firebenders because the firebenders can still bend. It makes perfect sense and it works. But the Earthbender prison in the movie is literally just, it's not even a prison. There's just this wooden gate thing. It looks like a fence. There's just a wooden fence there that they could easily jump. They wouldn't even need to bend to get out. But on top of that, they are just in like this little valley surrounded by earth. They can bend, as we see in their wimpy fight with a dozen guys moving one boulder. Oh, the logic doesn't work. It doesn't. The Earthbenders would not be trapped in that kind of setting. It sucked. Then Qatar is annoying. She was so annoying and stupid. We don't even really see her waterbend all that much. Instead of like, Katara! She goes up to a firebender and just shoves him. She is half his size, this wimpy little girl and she just pushes this guy who's a firebender. He could burn her alive. This movie was so bad, guys. It was so bad. Okay. That aside, we're gonna move on from that specific scene. Are you kidding me? They made a, I mean, I understand why they took out the massacre at the, Southerner Temple, right? Yes, thanks for the Southerner Temple. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. It's been a hot minute since I watched the show, but I understand why they took that out because that is a very dark moment and this is a kid's movie, but we didn't really go into them at the temple at all. And I mean, the entire thing was rushed because they thought, let's get the entire first season in an hour and a half, 2 hour movie. I don't even remember how long it is. It's not a long movie. And they tried to cram an entire, like, almost 30 episode or something like that, almost 30 episode season into that, like, 2 hours, which is stupid. Ugh. It was so bad. Yeah. Bending was crap. Honestly, I don't even remember Katara ever waterbending, which is horrible. I mean, I'm sure she does, but I don't remember her doing it at all, which means she did little to none in that movie. Yeah. The... I can't. Oh gosh, what else do I talk about? There's so many things to discuss. This movie was so bad, guys, but I don't know where to start. I really don't. Let's see. They took away Ozai. He's not intimidating. He's not intimidating at all. And they took away all of the ominous side of it by, like, you see his face halfway through the movie. One of the cool things about the show was that you never saw Ozai's face until, like, the end of season 1 when he is sending Azula after them. And you get to hear all these things about the Fire Lord, which we don't really hear all that much. There's not a lot of talk about the actual plot line. Overarching plot anyway. And then the first scene that's, like, in the Fire Nation, which I guess we actually get that in this anyway, but it's immediately you see his face and he's not intimidating, and he doesn't seem like any threat at all, especially when you take into account the stupid firebending rule that was introduced in the movie that he doesn't stick to anyway. But the firebenders have been weakened. I mean, they were never the strongest benders, but that stupid rule weakens them so much that they're not even a threat anymore. And it makes me wonder, in this movie universe, how the freaking heck did they take over? They were so limited by that rule of needing a source. How the frick did they take over the Earth Kingdom? How? It's not good, guys. It was not good. The fight, I mean, they left out some important episodes because they rushed so fast through it. They took some of the least important episodes into this movie and used those instead of using the more important episodes. Like when they go to the Fire Nation temple thing for the to figure out about Sozin's comet, and then Aang kind of fuses with Roku's spirit and brings the whole thing down. That's an amazing episode, and it's integral to the overarching plot of the entire series, and they just cut that out entirely. And they cut out the statues with the glowing eyes. That entire chamber is just, that didn't exist. There was oh gosh, no Kyoshi Island, so no Suki. There's so many things they cut out, and it's so disappointing. So disappointing. I don't know why I thought it would be a good idea to rewatch that garbage fire of a movie when it came on Netflix, because they're making live action, which yeah, will be fun. I don't know if I will watch that or not, just because I know the original people started off in the process, but Netflix was making decisions that I guess they didn't like, and they're trying to go in a direction that the original creators didn't want to go, and so they left. And so I've been keeping a close eye on some of the news that's come out about what's going on with that. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Netflix original series. They just go to make decisions and go in directions that I don't personally enjoy, like, or agree with. And so I don't know. I'm sure it'll be better than the garbage fire of the Last Airbender movie, but I still don't know if it'll be good. And I mean, nothing will ever be able to top the original series. Nothing will be able to top that. So I don't expect it to. I don't want it to. And I don't know if I will watch it. I don't have a strong desire to watch it just because I'm kind of sick of remakes. I mean, it'll be like the live action Disney movie remakes that they're doing. They're getting worse and worse as they go along. I mean, they didn't even start out all that great, but they keep getting worse. Which just puts a bad taste in my mouth for any other live action remakes. And so I mean, it'd be awesome to see this world and this magic system working in a realistic style, but I don't necessarily want an entire show of it. I don't necessarily want to watch an entire show of it. And I don't know. So there's my rant review on the Last Airbender movie. I'm sure I didn't cover everything. I already feel like I'm repressing the memories like I did with the first time I watched it, and I couldn't remember anything besides the fact that they mispronounced names. So yeah, there are already things that I don't even remember. I don't mind. I'm okay with just forgetting everything besides the fact that the movie's crap. But yeah, and I guess was sort of some of my thoughts on the upcoming Netflix live action series. I don't know how to feel about it. We'll see. May or may not watch that. But yeah. Well, happy 2022. Hopefully some of the craziness from the past couple of years starts to... I mean, no. I don't really expect things to get any better this year. At least. Anyway, I'll try to be optimistic. I'll probably be back with a rant review about Legend of Korra at some point, and I have been watching lots of movies and shows since I kind of went dark, so I might have a boatload of videos coming out. I definitely won't be covering all of the things that I've watched lately, but I will try to do the biggest ones, the ones that I most enjoyed or were absolute trash and I need to rant about. Yeah. I guess until next time, drop your thoughts in the comments. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your opinions on the movie. Sorry if you're one of those random people who somehow enjoyed that movie. I have very strong feelings. I don't mean to offend you, but... Anyway, bye.